Welcome back to our channel, everybody. Welcome back to our tribe, guys. As always, I can't do any of this without all of you. And welcome to all of our new subscribers. Welcome to our channel and welcome to our tribe, guys. Welcome all you new subs. Welcome to everybody who's here for the first time. If you like what you see, give it a thumbs up and subscribe and share it out. Guys, I am here because I want to be able to help all of you protect yourselves in today's job market, in the economy that we're in. By the title, you can tell I had a very, very scary and disturbing job interview recently. I'm going to give you a backstory. In March, I resigned from my job, started applying for jobs in April. I've had 3 interviews, maybe 3 or 4 rejections, mostly ghosting. And I'm sure you all are experiencing this. If you're experiencing this, comment down below. So I am an inventory control specialist. I'm also a merchandising servicing specialist. And I applied for a job as an inventory clerk. I was well overqualified for this job. It was a simple inventory clerk. And I was shocked because they emailed me the day after I applied requesting an interview. And I emailed back. The email wasn't working. I called the company. He got with me. He scheduled the interview. Everything was set up. And I thought, ooh, the wheels are turning. Let's see where this goes. I am overqualified and I'm 56 years old. I always keep that in mind when going to an interview. I go to the interview. The guy's really nice. We go into the boardroom where he does the interviews. He sits down. He looked at my resume and then just goes, first red flag. There were so many red flags in this job interview, guys. So many. And when he took a deep breath, I was like, I could start by telling you my skills and my job set and my last job, if you like. He's like, no, we can get to that later. He proceeded to tell me how horrible this job was. First, he tells me, we don't have any software and we don't have scanners. We don't have applications to do inventory. He also said, we don't have scanners. We don't have applications. We don't have software to do cycle counts. Therefore, we don't do any. He told me because we can't do cycle counts and we don't have scanners or software, we have tons of discrepancies at the end of every week, which pile up at the end of every month, which we have to try and solve ourselves. He proceeded to tell me that the building is not climate controlled, and the first 90 days, you won't be doing inventory. I'll just have you pulling and picking orders. It's work. I'm good with it. He said the building is not climate controlled. Only my office and the manager's offices have heat and air. And he's like, are you okay with that? Like, sure, I've worked in a warehouse before. He takes a sigh. And he tells me that every 90 days, 3 times a year, you become eligible for a raise. After your first 90 days, we do a review, and you are eligible for a pay increase. Every 6 months, you are eligible for a pay increase, and we do a review. I was like, that's kind of cool. Then he proceeds to say, by the way, we do not give pay increases for you showing up every day and doing your job. And he just stares at me. And then he says, we are watching you and we expect you to do 110 to 150%, 15% every hour, on every shift, every day, all year long. We don't give you pay increases to show up for work and do your job. Very, very bad red flag. Then he turns around at me and just looks at me and says, we have a very specific work culture in this warehouse. And just stares at me. This guy is trying to tell me this is a toxic work environment. Do not continue to apply for this job. And then he finally asked me, what was the last company you worked for? I explained the job. What did you like most about the job? Monday through Friday, 6 to 2:30, paid holidays, and we got a raise every month, which we did. We got bonuses every month, which we did. What did you like least about the job? And I told him I commuted. I was tired of commuting every day. And he just seemed like he did not want to interview me for whatever reason. He was nice until we sat down. So then he tells me, I'm going to decide on this position by the end of Saturday or Friday or Monday. It's either Friday or Monday. And this was Tuesday. He goes, you're only the third person I've interviewed, and we have a lot more interviews to do. Fine with that. He goes, I will decide either Friday or Monday. If you haven't heard from me by Monday afternoon, give me a call. You guys, today is 2 weeks from the day I interviewed. Nothing. I called yesterday to ask about the interview, and he says, oh, I never made a decision. That job posting is still open. I said, oh, you never decided? Nope. I never made a decision, and that job posting is still open. It's like, okay, thank you. He goes, oh, you're welcome. Click. And that was it. This is only part of the stuff that he was telling me about the job. He even complained that, oh, by the way, you have to go out into the heat and the cold to walk between warehouses. And it's every day, and it's not just once a day. Okay, it's a job, and it actually paid not too bad. For what it was decent pay. And he said, you're going to come up short on every inventory. And all of these departments where they build these items will have extra parts that they have hidden. And I asked him, oh, can we go ask about it? No, we don't do any. We don't check discrepancies until the end of the week. And he talked about how we have so many discrepancies because we don't have scanners, we don't have apps, we don't have software. We have so many discrepancies that we have to work on ourselves. He talked about how it would only be he and I working on the inventory and the discrepancies. And when he said that, it really made me feel like, oh, you don't want to work with me at all. I'm not hot. I'm not sexy. I'm 56 years old, and you don't think I can do this. Honey, I survived death in a year of weight training. I was in a coma for 3 days. I came out of it, and I worked at a gym. I did cardio and weight training for a year. I can outlive, probably outwork I can outwork you. And my health was not brought up once. Nothing about it. So when I say this, it was probably ageism or the fact I wasn't hot. So many red flags at this job interview. Guys, if you have experienced anything like this, or you had a very toxic job interview and everything was a red flag, comment down below. I want to know your job interview experiences, okay? I want to know. It's been 2 weeks and this guy never made a decision. The job posting is still open. Now, he told me, and I'm going to say this, he told me, if I hire you and I find someone else better to do the job, I'm going to hire him. Okay. He's like, if I hire you and I find someone else better for this position, I'm going to hire them. He was trying to scare me out of this job. Now, here's another thing. I've been contemplating calling the company and speaking to the general manager and asking him about why the interview went that way. And now that it's been 2 weeks, he never made a decision. I am probably going to call the company, speak to the general manager, and ask him why the interview went that way. And is that the way they normally do job interviews? And I will try to do a video on that if I make that call. Thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it gave you some insight to very disturbing and toxic job interviews. And this was only part of what happened in the job interview. It was just very full of red flags, very toxic, and very disturbing. So like I said, if you've experienced anything like this, comment down below. Give me feedback on what your job market is like, what your interviews have been like. If you've been ghosted, I mostly get ghosted. I've had 3 or 4 rejections and 3 interviews. That is it since April. I love you guys so much. You have a blessed day, and I have a ton of content coming, and I will blog you later. I love you.